You know, your Crassula ovata isn't doing very well. Have you been overwatering it?
My what?
This jade plant you have on the windowsill here.
Ah.
It's actually a succulent, and since I'm assuming you leave this window open all the time, it should get more than enough water just from the occasional rain blowing in.
Yeah, that's if you're watering a succulent at all, that's a terrible idea. Overwatering a succulent is just you're just killing it.
Speaking of the rain, your decorative plant may be doing poorly, but the mildew in your drywall is flourishing.
Glad to see you're happy about that. So, of course, we named our plant Wilty. Figures.
How thoughtful of them! The Crassula ovata, also known as the jade plant, money tree, lucky tree, or friendship tree, is an excellent and easy to care for houseplant.
Sure it is. Also, that makes me wonder, did we name the plant Wilty, or did the person that gave us the plant already have issues caring for it and name it that before we even got it?
They make beautiful bonsai, are suitable for beginners, and have some cultural significance both in the Far East and America as a token for good financial luck.
But you're just a walking encyclopedia, aren't you?
Most likely an urban legend, but still a nice gift.
With an added touch of awesome. Alright, what do we do?
I'd like your authorization to have a few tools shipped here. If I replant it into a more suitable pot with sandier soil, it should be thriving again soon.
So you need authorization to repot my plant, but you don't need authorization to charge me money for an AutoCab fare? Right.
You just have to remember to water it less frequently. Considering the state of your apartment, I'd have figured you'd neglect it rather than drown it.
True.
Ironic, since it would be doing better if you had. Excellent. The supplies should be here soon. I ordered from a place close by to keep the shipping costs down. Oh, one other thing. When I was doing the research on how to best take care of the Crassula ovata, I stumbled upon the persistent belief that talking to plants improves their health. There is scientific evidence that shows there may be something to the notion, but the methodology in the studies was a bit shaky, so it could all be rank superstition.
Better safe than sorry, I suppose. Oh yeah, that's right, mildew.
I have, in fact, already taken the liberty of sending a request to his office. And considering the broken window, broken sink, and the lingering sense of disrepair, I am not confident he has a history of following through.
Oh, that's a new response. I wonder if it's because I didn't mention my window. Because I know that in the original game I mentioned the fact that, you know, he mentioned that my window lock was broken, then he filed a request for that. And then he said that the mildew on the wall, he also filed a request, but he hasn't heard back a response from the window lock. Interesting.
I would suggest confronting him in person, but I have run a mesh search, and the man is a convicted felon for assault and battery with a deadly weapon.
Ah, he's one of those landlords. Great.
Perhaps we should bring some sort of a bribe?
Or a deadlier weapon. Just saying.
I will continue to formulate a stratagem. Anyway, I'll have this plant flourishing in no time. If left in direct sunlight, the leaves gain a pretty red tinge to their edges, and it should start flowering in the autumn.
I think I've actually, a couple of my friends and family actually have jade plants. They do
It'll
look pretty
really
good.
pull the whole room together.
I can agree with that.
You know, once we get the sink fixed.
Oh. Nah, the greens go together. Even if that is just a palette limitation.
Oh, it's almost the time Hayden had scheduled to meet with Tomcat.
My, how time flies when you're killing plants.
We should make our way to Stardust soon. your city map is updated with the location.
Sounds good. But first, let's talk to Wilty.
With more of that, we'll surely be on the way to lush greenery in no time.
They added probably to that. This action will have consequences. Probably. I'm not sure if it's Telltale games that do that all the time. I think they say, like, you know, so-and-so will remember this or something like that when an action you have has consequences. But I'm pretty sure that's just a reference, because I don't think at any other point in the game it actually says, you know, any of your other decisions have consequences or anything. Oh, they added more than one option.
Every bit will help in the end.
Alright. Well, let's get going. But first, let's save our game. Alright. Stardust Club. Let's go.
Well, this looks like the place, assuming the flashing neon signs are telling the truth.
Well, I would hope so.
From the sounds of the music, things are already underway at Stardust, even so early. Hopefully we can find Tomcat inside. And some answers.
Indeed. Got a plant. It's a very efficient little sort of bio container there, then.
Hold up there. Got ID?
Oh. I didn't expect the bouncer of all people to have voice acting. Definitely sounds like a fan voice acted it, because the quality is not that great, but I mean, if you're getting a bunch of different fans to voice act for your game, I can't blame them for not all having amazing mics. Alright, well, let's show them our ID. Nah, let's show them this.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, kind of a lot of sort of filtery noise to it. But again, I can't fault them for just one voice so far in a bunch.
Alright, looks good to me.
That is interesting, though, that they even have characters like the bouncer voice acted. That's interesting.
Welcome to Stardust.
This is the place. Have you ever been here before?
Yeah, definitely not my kind of place.
It does seem to be a bit boisterous for your tastes, at least from what I know of them. Still, the noise and the crowd should help keep our investigation clandestine.
Is that a good thing?
Anyway, where do you think we should start?
Might as well start talking to the bartender.
Good idea. Maybe the bartender can tell us where to find Tomcat.
If Valhalla is any indication, people tell the bartender everything. Well, I mean, not just Valhalla saying that, it's just basically anything ever. The bartender knows all. Also, I can't tell, is that like supposed to be like a vent or something, or are those scratch marks on the bar? That's kind of funny. I never noticed that. I'm not sure if that's there in the original. We've got a random glass of whiskey. But I want to. So? Aw. If I can't have it, no one can. National crisis. Do it anyway? So what? That doesn't stop me from trying to drink it. Ah, this chair. Excuse me for a moment while I look at this chair. Actually, I'm going to use it first. I like how that deserves its own just sort of disappointed sound effect. Nah. Okay, fine. Let's listen. I suppose that's fair enough. Alright, and now, this is gonna take a while. It's a chair. That sure is one chair there. Yep, still a chair. Chairs are chairs are chairs. You really have a thing for this chair. You're in the hot seat now. Do you, Game Cola, promise to love and cherish? The chair seems pretty laissez-faire. What a strange love affair. Time for you to lay it bare. The chair returns your timid stare. It truly is your cross to bear. You feel like you could walk on air. Just relax, let down your hair. The chair waits as you declare, it's a jungle out there. So, through all the wear and tear, even on only a wing and prayer, time to ask it fair and square, will you be my beloved chair? No, it won't. If there was a committee of weirdos who stare at chairs, you would be the chairperson. That's the best that can be said. At least you care. And now, that's all it says when you look at it. Why on earth they decided to make that chair have just that long list of dialogues if you keep looking at it, I have no idea, but thank you. That is just hilarious. It's just the little things in this game. It's fantastic. Anyway, now that we're done with our chair talking shenanigans, let's have some bartender talking shenanigans. But first, have some milk.
No outside drinks, and that just barely counts as one.
Ooh, I like his voice. We probably don't want to touch the bartender. We could get thrown out for that.
Morning, friend. What can I do for you?
Not sure if that sound effect was meant to be like him smiling and like his teeth flashing or something, but it kind of seems like it. I kind of like to ask both of these at once, but this works.
Sure, but first, let's get you a drink.
That works out anyway.
What'll it be?
Alright, and here's another thing that I love about this game. Just the randomness of how in-depth they go. You know, the lengths that some of the dialogue and some of the options here go. So we have 3, now that's 6 options, 9 options, 12, 15, 18, and I've lost count already. I've forgotten where the start was. But you can see we have quite a lot of drinks. You know what? Let's do it.
So many drinks these days. Remind me, what's in that?
You're expecting me to know?
Dictionary, the Open Alcoholopedia says...
Oh, okay. So they didn't voice act. Yeah, that is a bit ridiculous to have them voice act every single drink line. Mint-flavored soda with a swig of gin. Refreshing.
Does that sound good?
Sounds... I don't know.
Ah, alright, you got it. Coming right up.
It looks like it's got a little peppermint, little swirl at the bottom.
Now, what is it you need to know?
No, I mean, this isn't what we need to know, but it's exposition, and it's glorious as is.
Oh, I should introduce myself. The name's Majid. I've been the bartender of Stardust for a few years now, but I've owned it a little longer than that. So, what do you want to know? That's true, and it was true about Stardust. The first 6 months were great, but after that, the interest dried up and the kids moved on to the next big thing.
Yeah, I suppose that kind of does tend to happen.
But I guess I'm just stubborn and kept throwing good money after bad. Ha!
That sound effect.
After 2 years in a remodel, things started to pick back up again. We slowly dug ourselves out of the debt hole.
Well, that's good to hear. It's also good to hear that, you know, kids in 2064's attention spans haven't gotten any shorter than they already are.
We got some regulars around. They started bringing in enough new folks and it reached critical mass pretty quick.
Critical mass for a bar? Not really sure what that means.
Mostly got myself into trouble. When I immigrated from Pakistan, I didn't have a whole lot of employable skills. But I'm real big, which was enough to get hired for some real dirty stuff. Bodyguard work.
So basically what you're saying is you have a very particular set of skills.
Truth be told, I hated the work. I didn't want to be a hired fist my whole life. I wanted something regular, peaceful. I had enough cash saved up to buy this place, which was a hole at the time. The rest is history. I'm sure it sounds more exciting than it was. Hayden, scientist guy, does some kind of computer research at Parallax. Pretty sure I know who you're talking about, but I don't think he's around here tonight.
Well, no, I would be surprised if he was.
Our place doesn't really seem like his scene, but I think he comes in to scout young programming talent. Go figure.
At a bar? Seems a bit strange.
I can ask around, find out if anyone's seen him. I'll let you know.
Very helpful bartender so far.
I'm pretty sure Tomcat came in earlier, but I don't know where they went off to. I'd ask what you were meeting about, but I know they like to keep that kind of stuff quiet. Maybe try looking out on the dance floor. If they come around here, I'll tell them you're looking. Well, it was nice meeting you, but I gotta get back to work. I'll keep an eye out for Tomcat and send them your way if I see them. Good luck!
Sounds good.
Enjoy yourself, and don't be a stranger.
Well, thank you, Majid. Alright, and first thing we gotta do. Let's drink. Bottoms up. And hit the spot. Delicious. Alright, let's check out the dance floor. Got a dancer, a rad dancer, an important character because they have a portrait. So, let's go right to left. Alright, let's dance in! Let's dance! But first, have you heard of anyone named Tomcat? Do you go by the name Tomcat? Heck yeah, let's dance in! Yay, it's Let's Dance in City over here! Well, that was fun. Alright, well, actually, though. Definitely not by the bar, unless Majid is also Tomcat, but I doubt that. Hello, rad dancer. You know Tomcat? Interesting. Originally, they both told you to check the bar. Now I guess it's meant to say, no, they're probably not actually at the bar because they tell you different stuff. Stanchion. Megaphobiter. Arcade Pug. Oh, they can't look at the machine. Hello? Not sure if, like, she's supposed to be, or they're supposed to be Australian, or, like, what? I'm not quite sure what their voice is supposed to sound like. Alright. And, of course, I have to see if this quote is still the same. Yeah, it is. There you go. Indeed. It's also just terrible. But nevertheless... Aw, man. Darn. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Let's dance! Ew, what's that smell? This just, you know, the fact that you can just give random people this spoiled milk is just weird and hilarious at the same time. And you can bet I'm going to be trying to use it on as many things as I can. Let's see. Fantastic. And let's use the people. Alright, start dancing. I suppose. Now then. Let's look at you. Alright, definitely not.
Yes, can I help you?
I like your voice so far. Oh. Oh, they added a new option here. Originally, you only had one option for the dialogue. Let's see. Well, let's go with this one. I don't want to assume that the person with cat ears has a cat name, but let's just play it safe.
Not at the moment. They're usually close enough to hear when their name gets dropped.
That's interesting. I'm glad they added that.
So if that's all you needed from me, I'll get back to cutie cruising.
Yeah, in the original game, you could only ask her if she was Tomcat, and then she would just get really, really mad at you for assuming that the cat person had a cat name. And you know, you could just basically only, you know, get her really mad at you. I'm glad they added an option to kind of play it safe.
And no, that wasn't an invitation to flirt.
I'm good, thanks. Oh dear. That's alright. Wishing someone luck for trying to pick up a date doesn't sound like a good idea. Just straightforward, I guess.
Me either. I don't do genotypicals.
Alright, alright.
And I don't know where Tomcat is, so look for them elsewhere.
Alright.
Sorry, did you say genotypical?
Yeah, as in not a hybrid like me. Now then, I'm not here to educate you, and I do have a life to return to.
Yikes. Wow. I've never tried just being a total jerkface to all the characters, but at some point I think I may just have to try that, because some of these responses are just absolutely insane.
Yeah, alright, whatever. Just get moving.
Alright, we've been talking to her for too long. Ah!
Hi there. I heard you were looking for me.
I really like your voice.
Yours truly, doll.
Well, she's got the theme song for it.
Although, while I like the attention, it'd be just grand if you didn't holler for me so loudly. I do my share of flirting with both sides of the law. Wouldn't want little old me to get in trouble, huh?
I mean, we don't really know you, but I suppose not, just as a general rule. No. Oh, come on, let's not make fun of her accent.
Nah, you're fine. Jess is just a mite prickly pear on the outside. She'd probably give hell to most strange folks she hasn't made a deal with. So, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Alright, do you know this guy, Hayden?
Hayden's missing. Well, that's one way to sour my night.
Sorry.
I already saw you got his little ROM with you, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for now.
You know about me? Hayden never mentioned your involvement.
Well, sure thing, hon. I helped reprogram the back end on your OS so the AI code Hayden wrote for you would work properly with the mesh network.
I'm pretty sure not everyone's gonna understand what that means. I think I do, but I'm not entirely sure.
I have a distressing lack of information on my own creation. Hayden never saw fit to inform me on what went into designing my programming. Is there anything else you can tell me?
Not much more on that end. I'm a crack shot at making the Lips OS dance to my tune, but Hayden's coding in your AI core is a whole different can of worms. Way out of my league. Sorry, doll. Anything else I can help with?
Alright, tell us about yourself.
Oh, sure! You may have even heard of me in the news way back when. About 10 years ago, I hacked into Parallax's main ROM servers.
Wow.
Ooh, caused one hell of a stink if I do say so myself.
Well, I mean, I'd imagine so. You probably weren't too happy, at least.
People were arguing back and forth whether I was a kid genius or malicious criminal.
Pretty sure you were a kid criminal. Or a criminal genius, perhaps.
Earned myself an enforced net blackout for a few years, but I think it was worth it for the prestige.
I wouldn't, personally. Also, how would you enforce a net blackout? Like, can you not go to anyone else's house if they have net access? Like, what? That's gotta be some crazy stipulations on that kind of thing. That's crazy even just to consider.
Well, to see if I could. I mean, Parallax is a mighty big target. Bigger than the government.
And that's a problem, actually, if that's the case.
I don't know. I didn't really do it to steal anything, but I had to break an awful lot of eggs to crack my way in.
It definitely wasn't really much of criminal genius if you didn't do anything with it.
I chalk it up to the exuberance of youth. And now I try to stay on the straight and narrow. Mostly. Sometimes.
Fair enough.
Oh, who am I kidding? Sometimes I treat this place like it's my own little bat cave.
I like that reference. Also, I find it funny because you just said you did, flirting with both sides of the law, so... yeah. Fair enough. I rarely bring people's accents up in real-world conversation, but I suppose that could just be me.
Raleigh, North Carolina, dog.
Oh! Well, that's also new. In the original game, she was actually from, California. So... and she just, like, got the accent from, like, reading books, I believe. Interesting, so she actually is from the South, or in this. Fair enough. I can totally understand why they'd make the change.
Sure, it's not the glitziest town in the world, but folks like the way the sun goes down.
Ain't that the truth?
Still, this ain't a bad town for a southern belle. Lots of clothes. I had to get a third walk-in closet.
Oh. Just all these changes, I have to say, just overall, we're very, very early into the game, but so far, I am quite thoroughly enjoying this update as a whole.
Hayden and I met not long after my blackout expired, when he recruited me for my expertise in lips. It puzzled me at the time, since he's very sharp himself. I mean, he could have done the job blindfolded and boozy.
Was he really that good? Wow.
I think he just wanted someone working on it off the books.
Couldn't he have done that himself, though?
He ain't the most straightforward kind of man.
Seems like he certainly wasn't.
Mostly that little bot you got there. Well, I'm sure he had his fingers in lots of pies, but Turin is all I knew about.
That's a fair point.
Ooh, it's a powerful OS. And it's since been adapted to run on ROMs after they figured out how much more efficient it is.
More efficient than what?
It's focused on learning algorithms, so it can tailor itself to each user's habits. And it functions through using a distributed mesh network for non-essential public files.
Okay, I was understanding some of the technical jargon you had before, and now you've lost me. Yeah.
That's just a fancy way of saying all ROMs connect to all other ROMs. within range, and they share all files the user hasn't tagged as private.
That's a disturbing thought, actually. Like, what if they start sharing the files before you could, like, have a chance to tag them as private or something? Like, you know, you receive an email and download the attachment. Like, that's, you know, business work and stuff like that. That could be a terrible, terrible security flaw.
It's handy in dense population areas like NeoFSF, since it can bypass regular telecom nodes to access the internet.
I kind of feel like that would give you a way higher latency, though.
Out in the sticks, though, you're stuck connecting to regular old pipes. Yeah.
Don't know why you'd say yuck unless you're actually connecting to, like, pipes. I'm pretty sure you just connected to, like, fiber optic. I mean, that was, you know, even now, that's still a budding thing.
I don't rightly know.
I can't avoid the thought that Hayden's disappearance has something to do with me, based on his recent behavior.
Well, let's see. Hayden was pretty hush-hush about his work on your creation, but if Parallax found out about it somehow, ooh, that might have changed things.
Still, though.
It ain't always so good for a big company when their leading product declares independence.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm certain Hayden had some kind of intellectual property clause written into his contract with them, but he would just get fired, maybe even sued. I can't imagine they would disappear him. I mean, they ain't the CIA or anything.
Even the CIA doesn't just disappear people, like, on a whim. Like, it's probably more of a specific, necessary thing. I feel like our character is a bit more hung up on Jess's bad attitude than I am, but okay.
Oh, don't you worry about Jess, none. She just don't have a lot of patience when talking to genotypical folks like us. She's had to deal with an awful lot of pricks.
Ooh, angry expression. That's a new one. I think that must be a new expression. I've never seen that one before.
'Cause, well...
Probably all but that one are true. But this is probably the most true.
Good call.
Alright, let's ask some more questions.
As it suits you, hon.
Also, that seems like another bug. I was gonna ask her some more questions, not finish the conversation. But okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not real sure, hon. But it would likely help if we knew why he went missing in the first place.
True.
I'll stay here and ask around a bit. People know me, and they sure ain't gonna talk to a newbie like yourself.
Well, excuse me.
Why don't you hop back over to Hayden's place and grab the data cache out of his computer for me?
Okay.
We can go over his research notes and see if we can't find a reason for his being vanished.
Sounds good.
If Parallax is involved, there's probably something we're not seeing yet. Best to get all the clues we can find.
Investigation at its finest. Or rather, at its simplest, I suppose.
The data cache would be the best place to start. Good luck. Turin, you keep out of trouble.
Yeah, as if Turing would really get into that much trouble. Well, I mean, of his own volition. Gonna look at this poster.
I've saved the location to my memory. Let's check it out after the investigation.
You could do this in the original game, but it didn't do anything. I wonder if it does something now. So, alright. Let's head on out. And let's head back to Hayden's apartment.